So hello everyone, welcoming you to Shaurav's classes. So today we are going to discuss the IIFT Economics Entrance 2019 paper, question number 10. A garment firm, given the plant size, labor, and other raw materials availability, can produce output in two lines in various proportions. If x square meter of one line is produced per year, then y equals to 55 minus 700 by 40 minus x is less than 40 square meters per year, representing the other production line. What kind of curve is represented by the transformation contour? So this is basically a product transformation curve that we are given over here. Product transformation curve. Y equals to 55 minus 700 by 40 minus x, where x is less than 40, and thereby ensuring that the denominator is positive always. So obviously you need not check that, but it is as it's not asked in the question, but it will be obviously negatively sloped and concave, right? That is the standard idea for product transformation curve. Although you need not check that, we are basically told to identify the form of the curve. So essentially, this is not a particular economic concept oriented question. It's more of mathematical, but let us have a look at it. So if you just um, simplify it, it is basically um, 55 into 40 minus x minus 700 divide by 40 minus x, right? So y into 40 minus x is equals to 55 times 40 minus x minus 700. Okay, so this is the equation structure that we are getting. Now let us have a look at the options. You'll be able to understand. Now it is clearly not a circle, because if you remember that if it's an equation of a circle, then you should have the x square and the y square terms, and the coefficient of x square should have been equals to the coefficient of y square. So since neither x square nor y square term is there, so it's definitely not a circle. Can it be a parabola? The answer is again no, because for parabola, if you remember, it has to have an x square and y term, or y square and x term. One variable in squared form and another one in another. So you can see from this expression that it will basically boil down to 40y minus xy, which is 55 into 40 minus 55x minus 700. You neither have an x square term nor a y square term, so generally it is not an ellipse. Sorry, not a parabola. Similarly, it will not be an ellipse as well, because for ellipse what happens, you have the x square and y square terms, but the coefficient of x square is not equals to the coefficient of y square. Depending upon which is greater, you have the major axis and minor axis that are decided. Okay, so again, since x square and y square terms are not there, so there is no question of comparing the coefficients. So the only option that's left is rectangular hyperbola, which is your option number D in this case. So this basically represents a rectangular hyperbola. So the option is option number D for question number 10. Okay, thank you. All right. So moving into the question number 11 of the IIFT Economics Entrance 2019 paper. So consider a solo growth model of an economy which experiences technological progress at so the solo growth model of an economy which experiences technological progress at the rate of g and labor force grows at the rate of n. So at the steady state, which of them are true? So technological progress at the rate of g, that means a dot by A is equals to G, and labor force grows at the rate of N, so L dot by L is equals to N. So the per capita output is defined as, sorry, K by AL. I hope you remember that. sorry, per capita output is defined as Y by AL, and your per capita capital stock is defined as K by AL. Okay, and I hopefully remember that how was the production function in intensive form was defined as Y equals to f of small k, where f prime is positive, f double prime is negative, right? So at the steady state equilibrium, what happens? K dot is equals to 0. Okay, now how do you define y? It is f of k. That means y dot is equals to f prime of k into k dot. So at the steady state equilibrium, y dot is also 0. Okay, fine. So the output per capita also doesn't grow at the steady state equilibrium. So option B is definitely gone because it says that the per capita output is increasing. It doesn't grow, it is 0. So y dot is equals to 0 at the steady state equilibrium, right? So now what is the expression for y dot? Small y equals to y by AL. That means if you take log and take the time derivative, you get this. Remember this? Y dot by y minus a dot by L minus L dot by L. So since the numerator is 0, the entire left side is 0. So if you take some adjustments, you get this. Y dot by y equals to a dot plus L dot by L. So that is n plus g. So the total output grows at the rate of n plus g. So that is basically your option number C, that the total output is growing at the rate of 100 into n plus g percentage, because the options are given in terms of percentage. So we have a 100 multiplied with it. Okay, thank you.